Yeah, I mean, it's obviously I've gone through a lot of fall camps and stuff, so don't want to speak a lot about the past, but it's just kind of a new start almost. So I think there's a really good energy around the team right now, and just kind of that building that brotherhood since January. So yeah, we're excited to get going, get rolling on the season.
Your head coach has mentioned a few times that this was a hard camp, difficult camp. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean that every camp is going to be hard. Like that's kind of the point of the camp is to just kind of iron sharpening iron, just kind of throughout the 3 weeks. So yeah, I mean it was a hard camp, but everybody in the country went through a hard camp. It's kind of what you do in those details, how you attack the hard practices, the meetings when you're tired and stuff. It's kind of how you attack those. So I thought our team did a really good job of kind of attacking those little details when you're tired, when you're sore, when you don't want to do it. I thought we did a good job of pushing through and attacking every rep and everything we did.
Luke, Deshaun Stevenson has been getting kind of talked about a lot. He didn't play a lot last year, but it seems like he might this year. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, Deshaun's gonna be a really good ball player for us this year. He had a really good camp, and kind of that whole secondary. They had a really good camp this past year, so I think they're gonna have a big year. So I'm excited to play with them this year.
What is he really good at on the field, Deshaun?
I mean, he's just super long and super rangy, so he just covers a lot of ground, and he's not afraid to hit. So I mean, that's all the makings of a great safety. So.
How well do you feel like you know Minnesota? Because this will be, really your fifth time at Nebraska playing against PJ Flex teams.
Yeah, I mean they know what they do. They do it at an extremely high level. So it's going to be it's a big challenge for us, but we're up for it. We're excited for it. We're not making any excuses. Like it's 8:31. It's not Minnesota. It's just a nameless, faceless opponent that we have to prepare for. But yeah, they've had really good success in the Big Ten the last 5 years. Like they're a great program. They do what they do, and they do it at a high level. So just prepare like it's your last game ever. So yeah.
This is the fourth year in a row you've opened with a conference game. I mean, how does that change maybe your approach and mentality? And I think you guys picked to win the last couple and it didn't go well. I mean, how can it change the season in some respects when you have a conference game to open the year with?
Yeah, starting out 1-0 is, I mean, that's the goal. You go 1-0 every single week. So especially opening with the conference game, I mean that's huge for standings at the end of the year and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's super important. But like I said, there's no really difference between Minnesota or Louisiana Tech. Like it's the same preparation. It's the same like respect for those opponents, no matter who we're playing against.
And what have you seen from Cam Lenhart? You kind of know what it takes as a true freshman to be able to get on the field, but to be in a position to start or rotate on the defensive line. What has he brought in the spring and now into the fall?
Yeah, Cam's kind of a fake freshman. He's like has the tendencies of a senior and a old guy. So yeah, he's going to be a really good player. But yeah, he does everything right. I mean, great teammate, great just everything. He's gonna be a really good player. I mean, obviously there's gonna be some learning curves and stuff that happens to everybody. But yeah, he's doing really really well right now.
What do you expect game day to be like under this coaching staff?
They've kind of emphasized that game day is just a celebration of the work that we've put in practice. So nothing should change. For game day, it should just be, a product of what we've done in practice. So I think they're kind of trying to shift that mindset a little bit, and that's what they're preaching to us. So I think it's a great message that nothing should change at game day. It's just a celebration of what you've done in the past week or the past, for this case, 6 months.
It's been a while since you have beaten Minnesota. I don't think you have not. Beaten bad. These games have been close. So
Yeah.
I think would you like to finally come out on the winning end?
I mean, yeah, it's vital. Like it's, like I said, I don't want to talk into the past and stuff, but they're a good team. They're a good challenge. But yeah, obviously the goal is to win, to finish the week 1-0.
I know how close you are with Nick, and he's on the top of the depth chart with you. And for him to battle back the way he did from that injury and earn that in the camp, what does that tell you about him and just how much you mean to you too?
Yeah, I mean he's a warrior. Like he got a single digit for a reason. Like after missing the entire winter conditioning, like the respect that he still gets from his teammates, kind of being separated, working on his knee, all that rehab, and like still getting that like attention and that respect from his teammates. It sets it all for him. So he's battled back. He's a warrior. So I'm excited to play with him for one last year.
Luke, you mentioned the single digits. You got one. What did that kind of mean to get that, and how has it kind of, I guess, motivated some of the guys on the team?
Yeah, I think it's an awesome tradition just to kind of respect like what they're trying to establish here with this new staff. So I think it's great, and it means something. Like it's not just like, oh yeah, I wear 4 now. Like it means like my teammates respect me, and like that, like I represent this team now, and along with the other guys that have the single digits. So it means the world to me, and just having that respect from them.
Luke, how much has your confidence grown in this coaching staff over the course of the preseason?
Yeah, I mean it's grown a lot. Like obviously you get a new staff, it's new, everything's new. Especially for the old guys, it's like, gosh, all this change, like we don't know what to do with it. So yeah, it was a process. It's a process. But I think they've done a great job of kind of acclimating those old guys. Like, hey, this is what we're doing now. Like I know you did it this way, but this is what we're doing now, and like get on board or get out type of deal. So I think the old guys have done a really good job with that mentality of like, hey, like we did it in the past this way, let's ride this way. Like we got to, or else we can't play here, essentially.
Luke, Matt had mentioned meeting with you and Nick shortly after you took the job, and everybody's weighing their options, especially some of the older guys. He said what had come up was the idea that he's a program builder, but sometimes it takes a year or two along the way, and he kind of, you guys imparted some of the power and the meaning of winning as soon as possible. I mean,
Yeah.
what was that conversation like with him, and kind of what was your takeaway out of that meeting?
Yeah, I mean, you look back at his kind of history where at Temple it took him about 3 years. At Baylor it took him about 3 years to really get this thing rolling. And like you see that and you're like, hey, like why can't we do this now? Like we're competitive. Like we were competitive last year, the year before. Like there's talent in the building. Let's be competitive now. So just having that mindset that he wasn't just like planning for year 3. He was planning for year 1. Was kind of the older guys' like kind of questions or thoughts like, hey, like I want to win now. Like I don't want to wait for year 3 because this is my last year. So yeah, we've just like, and he's kind of preached that with us as well. Like, hey, this is year 4. This is year 5. Like let's go now. Like we don't need to wait. Like let's attack this now. So yeah, that was kind of the gist of that combo with him.
And so was that, did you leave encouraged, saying like, hey, it sounds like he wants to get it done now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was like, he'd always talks about it. It's like, hey, I'm being year 4 rule right now. Like this is who year 4 rule is. Like I'm not nice guy. Like, hey, that's okay. Like we'll get him next time. Like there's pressure to win right now. So I really appreciate that, and all the old guys, like we want to win now. We don't want to wait for year 3 when we know it's going to work. So yeah.
The Minnesota quarterback, what do you remember going up against him last year? What kind of stands out about his strengths on tape?
I mean, he's a good quarterback. If I remember right, he came in the second half, right? Because Morgan went down. So yeah, he led him back from, I think 10-0 was the score at halftime. So yeah, I mean he's a great leader, and like I said, they run a pretty simple scheme, but it's done at a very, very high level. So they do it well. So yeah, he fits into their system. He's not making mistakes. They're not throwing the ball all over the place. Like they know what they do. They run inside zone. They run stretches. Like they're just a hard-nosed physical team, and he fits that scheme extremely well.